What's up? Come on into the Rooted in Progress Stream Center.
Yes.
The struggle.
Oh, there we go. It's your favorite host, Deanne King and Terrence Middlebrooks. We're back. Is this our first episode in July?
You know what? Happy Monday.
No.
Because it feels like
a Monday.
Yes. Happy
Man.
Thursday, everybody. So you know how you get
does.
you know how you get that far in the week and you're looking forward to the weekend, and then the later the week goes, the more it feels like the start of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those days, you know.
It's
But
okay because
we're
now we're
blessed and highly
here
favored. We're here.
for Rooted in Progress.
Yes.
Your favorite part of the week.
Yes, it is.
And we have a fun one. We have a really good one, a feel-good, impactful. I can't wait to find out more about this. Any folks who have ever been in the foster care system, if you were in an adoption agency, we're going to be talking about all of that. We're going to be talking to a woman who created a foundation who has changed the lives of hundreds of children in our area. Let's give it up.
Yes.
For Miss Karen Bowen. Thank you so much for being with us.
Miss Karen, how are you?
Thank you for having me here. I'm deeply honored to be here today. Thank you so much.
We are
Yes.
so excited to have you. You are the CEO of Next Step Hope Foundation. It's a local adoption agency, children's home network here in Tampa. Not only do we have you, the visionary, but then we have the fruits of your labor joining us on this episode today as well. Quays Peoples, who is currently a junior at the Florida State University, joining us all the way from my hometown. Shout out to the 850 Tallahassee. Quays, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I
According-
appreciate it.
According to Miss Karen, you skipping class.
Nah, it's later.
She like, don't put that out there.
Quavion, thank you for joining us.
for having me.
Well, we are honored to have the both of you. Karen, I think
Yes.
we just want to jump in here and start with you and talk about the vision. Talk about what it took for you to even create this foundation. What was the goal here?
Well, the Next Step Hope Foundation, it was designed to empower and equip young adults that was aging out of foster care. We wanted them to have the opportunity to have skills and resources and mentorship and transitioning from one area into another, and we wanted to make sure that they feel secure. And as a foster parent, I see the firsthand teens that was aging out, how they were like nervous and they was having a hard time, and they start reverting back and wasn't doing so well. So I wanted to be able to create that gap where they still felt they still had the opportunity to still be able to progress, because a lot of times, like one of my young ladies, she was doing so well in school, but then like the last month of school, she just started thinking about like, I'm going to graduate and I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing, and it just started affecting everything. So I wanted to build that gap between foster care and on your way out of foster care. So that's how the Hope Foundation came into place.
Wow.
That's great, man. Miss Karen, what motivated you to get into the foster world?
I used to do supervised visitation a while ago, and I met a lot of young adults, kids, and it was a calling. It was a calling because I felt like I needed to make a difference. I needed to make a change, and it didn't start it right away, but it slowly started getting in the gap. And then I realized too, like, I was that mom that everybody was at my house in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's that house. Everyone, I ended up turning my garage into a hangout spot.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That was the mom that I was. And so after a while, it felt right, and it felt natural. And I was like, this is easy enough, just kept it going, just provide the services and the needs that they need. Some kids, they got home, and it was like, my mom is not home. Can I hang out, Miss Karen? I was like, okay, go ahead. And my kids, some were pretty good. And I'm still friends with all those kids. Now they're adult with family. one or two is married with their kids, and it was like, Miss Karen, I'm going to come to your garage. I was like, yeah, I know. Ate all the food too.
How many, because I believe you did a story with one of our journalists here.
Yeah, Avery.
And I have a number in my head. I don't want to say it. I want you to say it. How many children have gone through, have you fostered?
So I foster, I'm roughly about 300.
That's the number in my head.
Probably a little bit more over a period of time. I've been doing this a really long time.
What's
So,
that period of time?
I started, I think, 2002, 2003.
Wow.
So
So over 20 years.
20 years. So
300.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
What does it mean to know that you've touched so many lives over these past 2 decades?
I feel blessed for the opportunity to make a difference.
Right.
That's all it is to make a difference. And for someone can look back and, passing it forward,
Yeah.
that every child that I have touched, that they will be doing the same exact thing as well, you know?
Yeah.
You teach our young people to support others, not just yourself, support everyone else that's around you. You don't know how well you can make a difference in somebody's life.
Right.
So I feel good about it, and I feel blessed that God gave me this opportunity to be able to be in this ministry, because it is the ministry, and it's easy. And when you know when God gave you something, it just rolls right out.
That's good.
Wow.
And I feel good about it, and I love it.
Yes, you after 300 kids, you got.
Can you imagine
That's
the
a
Christmas
different
and
kind of
Thanksgiving
love.
holidays?
You know what I'm talking about? And we have Quaviana here. Is she someone who you fostered as well?
Yes.
So talk about that relationship between the two of you.
Well,
We're gonna ask you too, Quay.
Quay's awesome. She is awesome. She just needed that person just to stand in the gap for her. When we first met about 15, 16, I think. And we had an adjustment period where we had to get used to each other, because Quay been in foster care since I think she was about 6.
Wow.
And building trust and relationships, and that was really hard. When I met Quay, she did have a support system that was going in place too, but now that she was in my home, I was someone that she had to learn and trust. So it was a little bit difficult, but it wasn't. I recognized the fact that she just wanted to make sure that I was right.
Yeah.
I was the right person that was going to move her to the next step. So we had some moments, some tug back and forth, but
And I'm sure it's hard.
that's my girl.
I'm sure it's hard once you get a kid, or just to get to know them and to figure it out. And mainly what you said is to build that trust.
Absolutely.
Quay, can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing and then when your first encounters when you met Miss Karen?
Yes. I met Miss Karen, I believe, in 2021. I had been to like a lot of houses. I don't think it was a shortage of houses. So when I came to Miss Karen, I had a lot of trust issues. So I thought she was gonna be another one that eventually I come in, I get kicked out, or I get sent to another home. But she never gave up on me, and it took me a long time to trust people, and eventually it was that trust between us. Like, she became my mom.
Oh,
That's great.
What about prior to Miss Karen? Do you mind sharing what that was like for you before you met Miss Karen?
Yes. I came into care at 6. I was in and out with my mom, like in and out with
With your
relative
biological mother?
yes, with my biological mother, and then relative care, and I think I lived with my grandma at once, and I was just in and out of the system throughout 6 all the way to 2021. But it was really rough because I was going home to home. Either it was something wrong in the home where the person wasn't doing something right, or I was just getting kicked out. I never had a stability basically. So
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's tough, right? Is that typically the case? Is that what you often see when you receive a child in the system who's now placed in your home, Miss Karen?
Yeah. So there's many different reasons why a child get removed from a home. It could just be the home is closing down. It could sometimes be not a good fit at the moment. It could just mean so many different things, and sometimes the home is not prepared for the child that's coming in. Sometimes we forget that the child is coming in with a lot of trauma. It's, and they're just testing you to see if you gonna let me stay. They go in sometimes just like I'm not gonna be here for long anyway. So it's almost sometimes it's self-sabotaging sometimes. And it's not that they're doing it as trauma. They experience PTSD. They experience so many different things. So what happens with that is kids, they start into a home and then they just be like, I don't want to stay here. And then that's a disruption that's there. Or they go into a home and something happened and they're out. So there is a lot of movement, a lot when it comes to foster care and kids being stable within the home. But it's not that it's not work, because you now have a support system that's put in place now that they're working really hard to make sure that if the child is having some issues or anything like that, let's see what we can do to stabilize the child within the home. But there is a lot of movements within the home. So now we're working on getting some really good foster homes that is in it for the long haul.
You mentioned issues. What are some of the biggest issues in the foster care system?
Stable homes and enough homes for foster parents. For
foster kids.
Foster kids, thank you.
Yes.
For foster kids, now there's not a lot of homes that's available for kids right this minute. So like Quaviana was saying before, there was not a lot of homes. So sometimes foster homes, parents were getting burnt out. There's a lot of kids that's coming through. As we speak right now, there's a family that's being removed. Every 5 minutes, a family is being removed. A call is coming through, an abuse report is coming through. Wow. And if you don't have a lot of foster parents, they will get burned out. They will get burned out. We don't have enough support system. You will get burned out. Sometimes we have a lot of kids. Like my home, I have usually have about 6 of different ages. I do work a lot with teens, but lately I've been working with some 12-year-olds and 11-year-olds. I'm trying to test the waters a little bit because I realize that it works better too when you have them younger, better guidance, better results that comes out when kids are more inclined to say, okay, I want to do better, I want to be good in school, I want to do this. Not that they're doing it on purpose, that I want to be doing in school. They have so many things going on, because I always try to put myself in that shoe. Put myself in that shoe. If I'm going from home to home, I'm not sure if when I go to school, am I going to come back to that same home?
Wow.
Right.
Or I look at the fact of how a child gets placed into the system. One day you're at home and someone knocks on the door and said, "Hey, pack your bags." And you're like, "Where am I going?"
Just like that.
Just like that, you know?
So if everything is going well in that home, there's a possibility where a social worker or someone could come through.
Well, it's not just that something have had to happen. There have to be an abuse report that's put in place that while they're out there, just to show up. So there's an abuse report that comes out and they come out to investigate it. If they find probable cause that the child or the children needs to be removed, they'll go ahead and they remove the family. So within that scope, you have a 4-year-old or 5-year-olds that don't understand, and the child is being removed. Usually takes a couple of days before the case get adjudicated, where the parents will go before the judge to see what's going on. But in the meantime, your whole family is moved out the house, and now they're placed with someone that they don't recognize, they don't know, they don't know what's going on. And it takes a while sometimes for all the information to come out to that particular child. A child that's 5-6 years old don't understand what's happening. They're like,
Quay, you were 6 at the time that you were removed from your home. Where were you? Can you think back to did you have a sense of what was going on at that time?
Yes, I did, because I experienced a lot at a young age. So I understood a lot, like what was going on.
Wow.
Like I was getting taken. But at the time I thought like maybe I didn't understand the whole scope of what was going on, but I understood some of the stuff. Like I was getting took because my mom was doing this. So
Got it.
Right.
And so you knew that you had to be removed from your home.
yes.
What effects did that experience have on you?
A lot, a lot. I would say,
I mean, you have to trust. It's almost like starting the process all over again.
well, yeah,
You
trust
know,
issues,
yeah,
stability issues,
probably anger, correct?
yeah, anger,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
having to feel like I'm gonna always having to feel like something always gonna happen. Like
Right.
if I'm in a good placement, I'm like, this is not gonna last for long. It's gonna last for a
Yes,
short
that's
time. And
Right.
that's
Yeah.
that's what my mindset was for a long time. And I don't like change. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
even moving to Tallahassee, that was a huge step for me because I've been moving
Mm-hmm.
my whole life. I've been to like over 60 placements throughout my whole life. So I don't even like changing homes that often.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust people often. Just yeah, a lot of issues.
And then you met Miss Karen. Can you tell us like the first time you guys met, or when you were placed in her home? Like, how did that go? I mean, I'm sure
Uh,
you were in there like, oh man, here we go,
All
and
right,
here
here
we
we go
go, no, yeah, here we
again.
go again.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit difficult because like I said, I had came from a placement that I had got kicked out of. It was hard for me when that happened. I was just in pieces. I was sad, and I was like, I gotta go to another home where, I might get kicked out. I might not last. So I was like, I'm gonna go to this lady house, and I'm probably not gonna last. So, and Miss Karen was the longest home I've been in since I've been in care. She was the longest home, and she hung on to me. She didn't give up on me. So,
Hmm.
like,
What did you see in her?
um, what did I see here?
And I really made that to Miss Karen. What did you see
In
in
Quay.
Quay?
But I think well, I saw she was a challenge. And I was like, oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. She had, because I liked her mindset. I liked her mindset when she used to be like, this is not going to be my life. This is not what I'm going to do. I'm going to be better. I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to be like what I came from. And that's what she was like. And she was like, I don't need nobody. I'm going to do that by myself. I'm going to do that by myself. That was her. Like, so she already had a mindset of being great. And I was like, okay, we're going to get you there.
Yeah.
We're going to get you there. And I don't need you. I
That's
don't
more than
need you.
half the battle.
Yes.
It's the mentality,
It's the
right?
mentality.
Like people act based on oftentimes emotion. So if those emotions are always negative, right, you're not going to move in a positive way. So to see that because how old was she when she entered your home? 16?
She's 16.
After all that she had been through?
And at 16, it's tough
It's a tough age.
to break that. Wow, what you
It is.
How do you navigate the friendship space? We did a show a couple weeks ago and we talked about how mean kids are. Kids are ruthless.
Yeah.
Like
today's kids
worse
yes.
than just even like normal people. Like kids just be mean for no, like they wake up with mean energy. Like, baby, what happened? So I want to hear from both ends. How do you navigate a space where you technically have 6 or 7 different strangers that you're kind of creating a family environment? How do you help them cultivate a relationship among each other? And then Quay, I want you to think about how did you navigate living your life in school? Having to make friends, change sceneries, change schools, all of those things. I feel like it's twofold. So Miss Karen, can you speak to how you cultivate those relationships among the children in your home?
Well, first, you have to meet them where they're at. You got to. It's not one size shoes fit all, right? So this child is, this behavior, or this child, is more friendly, or this child is this, whatever the case may be. I meet each child where they at, and I build relationships with that child in that space. Now, when I get to know that child really good, then I start to cultivate everyone together. I can't do it all at once, so I have to do it in sessions. I have to let them build trust with me first, because if they build trust with me first, if I'm telling them something, they're going to believe what I'm saying. So if I'm saying to them like, hey, we're here as a family, I'm treating you as a family. So that means that I want you to be my family, and I want everyone to be a family. I tell everyone that every child that comes to my home, God placed you there. And I have a responsibility to make sure that I'm doing my part. I've been charged to do something that was amazing, an amazing job to be able to lead you into greatness. That's what it is, and that's what I'm here for. And so, of course, we have everyone that's there that's going through their own thing. That's not my family. I don't know her. This, but I said, but I treat you like my family. And I want you to be able to adjust right now here with all of us that's here. We're not going to like each other completely because we still getting to know each other. So we kind of work with that. Like, this is a learning process. I'm not forcing nothing down your throat, but it works better when we all work together as a unit. And then you may get like, whatever, but fine, tell her to stay out my room, don't talk to me. But you'll see the guidelines kind of go along the way. Everybody's like, okay. And when I say, Quaviana can also tell you too, like when I said we're family, I share my family with them. Like my kids.
Do you well, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you have kids, Miss Karen?
I do.
Okay.
I have adult kids. My oldest daughter is 35.
Okay.
And I have Kayshawn is 32, Malik is 25, Mark is 30. So
Okay,
I have
4.
Yeah, I have 4 kids and I have grown kids. But my kids now, we grew together. So since when we were young, or my kids were younger, and I started out my son was like 10, my daughters was like 15, 14. So they all grew together, so they understand exactly what I was doing. And so they're still friends to this day with a lot of the kiddos that came through the home.
Good.
And so when I say that my family is your family, it's perfect example. One of the girls, she did not like what I said, and she was just upset with me. She called my daughter.
Wow.
She called my daughter. She was like, Miss Karen is over here telling me I can't go out, and she's getting on my nerves and so forth and so forth. My daughter didn't call me. Could you leave her alone?
Wow.
I was like, what? She was like, could you leave me alone? And can you leave them alone? And I was like, oh my goodness. And they was like, Mom, we got this. And my kids would come by, pick them up, go hang out. They, when I said that we're a family, when we got Quay to Tallahassee, was my daughter that came. We flew her there because she didn't want to drive. So we just did that hour-and-a-half flight for no reason. And we stood there, and she stood with her the whole time, and she got her to pick up your keys, right? I think it was to pick up her keys for her room and stuff like that. And so they was like, no, I'm going to take her. No, I'm going to take her. No, I'm going to take her. I got her. And it's been like that, even though Quay drive them nuts. They was like, this is our little sister. It's like, and they'll tell you that, that's our little sister. And any kids that comes through the house is a little sister. It's a little sister. They're the one that do the hairs. They'll go to the nail shop. They do like different things because the goal is to make you feel, try to bring as much normalcy into your life that we understand. We understand that the situation you're in right now, it's not normal. It isn't.
Right.
But if we can make some normalcy within inside of it and take some of that stress off you, that's what we're going to do. So my family we're all in. It's not just me. We all in. This is a joint family event.
I love that. And I love to hear that because I could only imagine how rare people might walk away from a foster care experience with a story like that. So that's beautiful that you're even creating and cultivating that kind of environment for the foster children who enter your home. Right. Quay, how did you navigate the relationships, whether it be at school, whether it be in the foster homes that you lived in?
I had strained relationships in school and like in foster homes. Like I said, I could never last in a foster home. Either it was me getting kicked out or it was just something that the parent of the home or the group home didn't fit was doing wrong. So I never got to really form relationships until I moved to Miss Karen house, really. I did form some relationships with some of the workers, so that was a good thing. And they stuck with me for life. But yeah, so.
Okay. But then what about at school? Like how was that? Did you change a bunch of different schools?
Yes, I went to a lot of different schools.
Wow.
But I was transferring. If I was to move a home and if it was in my in that location, I had to change schools. And if I didn't change schools, I had to drive 2 hours or an hour away just to go to school, and I'll get there like 2 hours early and we'll have to wait outside. So
So,
Wow.
Miss Karen, let's just back up a little bit. Like, what is the actual time frame to foster a kid? Is there a time frame, like an age group? I guess, at 18, do they have to go, or 18 you keep them, or what is the plan there?
Okay, so there's two sections of foster care. You have the dependency side, which is basically from 0 to 17, and then you have the second side of it, which is the extended foster care side of it. So child comes in anywhere between 0 to 17. They're in the dependency side. It means that they have a foster home. There's a family that's taking care of them. And then we're working on trying to reunify families together, whether it's through family, grandparents, a neighbor, someone that's stepping up to the occasion to assist with taking these children. And then you have the other side, which is 18 to 21. So that's the extended foster care side of it. So when kids are aging out, they're providing a space for them now where they're able to transition into another side of it. I tried not to push it as, another type of foster care, because a lot of times kids want that stigma off them, foster care. They want it off them. So, I always say they're transitioning into an independent living side of it now. They're transitioning into their future. This is the new journey that they're on. And so that's the 18 to 21, which is through independent living, which is part of Camelot, at least for Hillsborough County. In each county, they have their own way of going about doing the independent living.
Okay.
So with independent living here in Hillsborough County that I work a lot alongside with, a lot of our girls, they're coming through that area. So when they come through, we're doing the exact same thing. We're providing a safe space. We're making sure now they're learning about credit. They're learning about financial literacy. We're mentoring them. We're doing like just about anything. Like with me, I'm really hands-on because I think that's the best way how to make it work. Me telling you one thing, that's just me telling you one thing. But if I'm walking through it with you, like I've had one of the young ladies I've had, while she's on the phone making an appointment, I'm there writing notes. Ask them this. Okay. Oh, let's ask them this instead, because sometimes they're like, okay, all right. They don't know what next to say. I said, this is what this next question is. Actually, teach them how to do follow-up conversation, follow-up talks. And so I'm really hands-on with the girls that age out of foster care. So especially with Jamila right there, she's another one too. She will be like, Miss Karen, what do I say?
It is definitely a God's calling what you're doing. And man, how many of the 300 plus kids do you still stay in touch with? Thanksgiving must be wild at your house.
I need to show you some videos. No, stop, Quay. I have a lot of kiddos that comes back and visits. I can't put my hands on exactly a number, but I mean,
is Quay one of them?
Quay's one of them.
Look at her.
Quay's one of them. I have another young lady. She's in Tennessee right now, and I met her when she was 14. She's now 33, and she's an executive sales director, and she's doing some amazing, great things. That's I still talk to her. She's 32 right now. Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I just saw her picture popped up there, so I was just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you think about that, you're like, what?
What? Yeah. So I have, I have her, and I have another one. I just went to a baby shower. She's just on her second baby, which is awesome. So there's a good amount of handful kiddos or now adults that comes back, and they know that I have an open door policy. So that's the thing, good. Right, with me, not because you moved on. The goal is for you to move on and to start your own family and to start doing stuff. But when you want to say, I'm gonna come back to a family reunion, I'm coming back to family, you're coming back to me. Yeah. So at any time, you feel free. You can call me. You call me any single time, and they know that. There's no like, oh, why are you calling me? It's more or less like, why haven't you been calling me? I have a young lady. She was with me for a while until she got reunified with her family in Arizona, and she made sure she called me. She said, "I graduated, Miss Karen. I graduated from high school." She sent me her picture. She said, "I graduated."
Wow.
And I met her. She was like 13, 14. And she was like, "I'm going to University State of Phoenix."
Okay.
And I was like, perfect, perfect. And she was like, "Miss Karen, I didn't forget. I didn't forget." She said, "I never forgot you." And I said, "I ain't gonna forget you, girl."
That's great.
That is so sweet. Quay, what has it been like for you now that you've transitioned out of foster care and you're at school, you're in your third, your junior year. What has it been like for you so far?
Um, with Miss Karen help, it's been good. I think without Miss Karen help, it would have been really difficult. Because Miss Karen and Keisha, they helped me with credit. Um, they helped me with life skills, how to schedule doctor's appointments. Because some of us youth, foster youth, we don't even know how to do the easy things that adults should know how to do. But with Miss Karen help, she help us do a lot of stuff. So I
She walked
think
away with a great credit
thanks
score,
to
too.
her, it's
Say that
been
again.
So she walked away with a fantastic credit score.
That's what I'm talking
Wow.
about.
She
Come
sure
on.
did. She sure did.
We gonna keep that thing high.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
right.
Quay.
She did. She walked away with a high credit score.
thanks to you. Yep.
And she had her credit cards and she had her stuff and she's paying them off like she should. And she don't play around. She'd be like, "What's this interest thing? They're taking money." She's like, "I don't give away money."
I know that's
So,
right.
Quay, where you are
Listen.
right now, you're a junior at Florida State University, majoring in criminology. What's the future like for you?
Um, it's a lot of different things. I'm not set on one thing right now, but
Okay.
Let's hear
maybe
it all,
one
girl.
day, one day I might want to do family court, or I know one day I want to start my own nonprofit organization, of course, towards children. I just don't know the goal yet.
Okay.
That's later on,
Yeah.
but I want to like help children and all, like just not just foster kids, just children,
Right.
period. So, yeah. But I might just become a lawyer.
What an amazing story.
Wow.
I mean, where you start and look at you now.
Right,
You know,
right.
what-
And
what
the
it-
goals you have.
Yeah, and the goals you
Yeah.
have.
And let me tell you something about starting a nonprofit. That doesn't need an age. You don't have to
Absolutely.
meet, there's no age requirement. There are so many resources, especially on the campus of FSU. My godmom is actually, and maybe I should connect you all. My godmom worked with Big Bend Community-Based Care. I don't know if you've heard of that organization here in Florida. She's actually in the School of Social Work. She's a doctor there and a professor there at FSU. You would think her home was a foster care home, because like I come and that's my godmama and all these other people here, and I'm like, hold up now, who are y'all? But she has such a heart for children and for students, and she's a really great connection. So I'm gonna connect y'all because she's on campus at FSU. But don't limit yourself. If you have ideas, write them things down. Write them down, make it plain, and see if you need to cultivate any relationships while you're there on that campus to make things happen now. You would be amazed at the resources that you have at your fingertips on a college campus.
Awesome.
You would be blown away.
I
Blown
want to
away.
get my master's in social work, and I want to do a dual major in social work and criminology.
So she probably would be one of your professors.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Amazing.
about adding on to my bachelor's maybe this year because I can add on to social work. I'm still thinking about it. Or I
Let's
should wait till
go.
my master's, so yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, I love this. I will definitely give her a call, and she's gonna be she gonna be at my godmama house, I'm telling you, for something. Like she does it all and just has all her students and so many people always at her house.
Awesome.
But I think that's what's one of the things I wanted to ask you, Quay, what you think is the stigma that comes with being in the foster care system.
One of the biggest stigma is that we'll never be nothing. We won't graduate high school. We won't go to college. Um, you always end up in the criminal justice system, and I don't believe that's true because I beat the statistics, and I know a lot of other
Go ahead,
people
girl.
that beat the statistics, especially the wonderful people I know in Florida Youth Shine and Maddie's Movement. Maddie's Movement was my other organization. Like those youth, I met other youth that they have masters, they're doing really
They're
good.
making
They know
movements.
statistics.
Hmm.
Those, statistics are just statistics, they don't gotta be always true. So
Yeah. And you, yes, girl, you tore all them folks down and all them little negative things they had to say. You are killing the game. I am so proud of you. I'm honored to now know you. And especially you, Miss Karen, because and I say the fruits of your labor, and I know you work through God, but it's just amazing to see God's favor on your life.
Oh, thank you.
Because it really takes a special person. Not because we all know kids are tough. Hello, kids are tough, but to be able to not only open up your home, but your life, your family, your being to all of these people, no matter what they come with, that takes a very special person.
Oh, I appreciate
A very
that.
special person. What is the distinction? What do you do? Is there anything that you do differently, particularly with your foundation?
So with my foundation right now, I'm taking it slow. I don't want to rush and just say I want to be out there because then I'm gonna miss the mark. Because the goal is to get every single child on board to make superstars. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So with my foundation right now, I am encouraging, if anyone wants to be a part of it, reach out. If you have a skill set or something that you want to do. Like right now, one of my biggest things that I'm really working on is I would love the opportunity to get with companies that's willing to hire these young adults that's coming into foster care. Like this morning, I was looking at the statistics of, like Quay was talking about, like how the statistics right now with young adults aging out of foster care, when it comes to like finances, they have an issue with that.
Yeah.
And they're making about 75, maybe close to $8,000 a year. Because majority of the jobs that they're getting are fast food, or it's not part-time. And, if you ever worked in retail or the fast food section, you get 4 hours here and
Yeah.
6 hours here. Your whole day is all taken up with this, and you still not making any finances to survive.
Wow.
And then a lot of times too, we have young adults too, they're great when they're in school, because I've come across a few kids that they're amazing when it comes to school. They don't play about school. They do not play about school. And Quavion is right. There's a lot of kids that she now met that's in the Florida You Shine program that I have masters, and by 22, 23, they're on board.
Wow.
But the thing is that they may not have a lot of job experience.
Right.
And
right.
so they need someone to kind of take them under their wings now and be like, okay, how can we help? Let's get them started out like on top.
Yeah.
I understand like some of us, we started at the bottom and stuff like that, but our kids they're hybrid right now.
Yeah.
We have some hybrid kids that's going on out there. Because I didn't finish my degree until I was like in my 30s or my fourth kids. It was just, it took a lot. But these young adults, these high achievers, they're like, I want to get my degree. I want all of it right now.
Right now.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I am ready. So a lot of these kids that said, I am ready, I would love the opportunity to work with a company to say, well, we are ready also to
Right.
send them to us, and we can guide them, and we can put them in the path that they need to go and continue with that. So that's where Next Step is right now. We want to work with other companies that's willing to give them a chance the same way that we gave them a chance. And they're also giving you a chance because they're trusting you to say that my future now is in your hands.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. So
How can people support you? How do we follow you?
you can follow me on, I am on Instagram, I am on Facebook, and you can go to my website too, Next Step Hope Foundation. It's with 2K, NEKKTS STEPH OE Foundation. I blanked out for a second. NextStepHopeFoundation.org. You can reach me there, or you can call me on my phone. I get my phone number out, 813 900-0347.
Wow.
And you can call me and say, hey, Karen, how can we make a difference? Because I look forward to that. I always say God gave us all talents and gifts and talents, and it's for us to share it with others. And you'd be surprised the difference that you could make in someone's life. You will love to have the opportunity to say, hey, I met this person. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. And I'm glad that I met them, because now I'm able to move even further than where I was before.
We have all, no matter where we are in life, have gotten to wherever place we are in because of somebody else. Everybody.
Speak. That's
Everybody.
what I'm talking about.
Every single person. So thank you for coming in and joining us and sharing not only your mission, but your heart.
Oh, thank
and your
you.
passion. And Quay, we are so proud of you. I cannot wait to see what you do next. I'm going to get your contact information from Miss Karen, if you don't mind, because I need to connect you with my godmom. But I'll probably see you at Thanksgiving or something like that, because I know that's I just know that's what's going to happen with my godmommy Carol from here on out. So again, we appreciate the both of you for joining Rooted in Progress.
We appreciate you having us here. It was amazing. I love this.
Thank you.
And here also is awesome.
Thank you. Y'all
awesome.
hear that? I know the people, the folks who's listening.
It's
okay.
awesome.
Well, we appreciate you. And for folks who are interested in at or following us, hello, come on, somebody. I don't even know how to move. Terrence left me, and I'm gonna put him out there like that. He's just gonna have to find out later. You can follow Rooted in Progress. We're live every Thursday at 9:30 in the morning. You can follow Rooted in Progress. Search us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on YouTube. We're live on the WFLA app. If you download that app, turn your notifications on. You'll get a push notification when we are live. And we were also live on the WFLA Facebook page as well. So y'all go out and do something kind. If you don't walk away with one thing from this episode, show some love to somebody. You never know what kind of impact or blessing you will have on their life just by showing them a little bit of love, a little bit of hope, and a little bit of courage. So as always, stay rooted.